Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last video we wrote our transformation script. So in this video what we're gonna do, we're gonna be writing those output that we created in last video into Redshift data, and we will be using glue job to do all those things. So let's get started. So as you can see, we have completed our project till we loaded data onto S3, then we crawled that data, created table on Athena, and now we're going to be doing a glue transformation. So we already did the transformation in the last video, that using the Jupyter notebook and the Python. Now we will deploy, or we will write the copy command in the glue, and we will copy that data onto Redshift. So we're going to be doing that. So what we will do, we will first connect to Redshift, okay, and then we will create tables based on the transformation tables that we created in the last video. So we created basically let me go to the output. So we created 4 tables, which was like dim date, hospital, region, and fact COVID. So we need to extract the schema out of these data and build table onto Redshift. Then we can write the copy command that we already discussed in our previous videos. So we will do the copy command, load that data, and then do some analysis on top of it. So first of all, let's fire up the Jupyter notebook. So I've already written this particular syntax. So it looks like this, okay. If you want to extract the schema out of the data frame, what we can do, we can use the pandas method, which is basically io.sql.get schema. It will extract that schema from that particular data frame. So if I run this particular thing, okay, as you can see, we will get the direct SQL query for create table. Okay, this is like the automation way of extracting schema from the Python. So we have our data frame, which is dim date. Let's print this head, and we have this like FIPS, date, year, month, and day of the week, and we can directly get these what do you call the schema out of the table. So you can basically, this is like basic Python syntax. So if you don't know Python, I already have the tutorial on that, so you can watch that. So again, we can have the fact COVID, we can get the schema for dim region, and we can get the schema for hospital also. So this way we can directly copy this and create tables on Redshift, but we will do this all programmatically, so you don't have to worry about that. Now what you need to do, there is a library which is basically called as Redshift connector. So till now we were using psychopg2 to connect to Redshift and run some queries, but in this video we will use some different libraries for more exploration. So we will use Redshift connector. So you let me just copy this and paste it over here. Okay, so the package is import Redshift underscore connector. You can search about this particular thing on Google, Redshift connector, and you will see the Redshift connector, all the installation, how to install. So you just need to write the pip install Redshift connector, it will install it. Then you can use this syntax to connect to Redshift cluster and create the cursor and execute your query. So this is same like psychopg2, and most of the libraries which we use, such as PyMySQL, SQL Alchemy, all have like similar functionality. So you basically connect to database and start executing your queries. So you can, if you want to learn about more about like Redshift connector, you can do that. So just do the pip install and Redshift connector, and you will be able to install it and just run it. Now same step that we were using, we need to connect to the database. So we have my Redshift cluster. So let me go to Redshift, my dashboards. Okay, this is the cluster, Redshift cluster 2. So you can copy the endpoint, then you can copy the dev port and username, everything over here. So this is the host, my database, user, and password. I'm just going to run this. So I've made the connection to the Redshift database. Now again, we need to set the auto commit as true. So whatever the action we do, we need to make sure that it writes in the database. So we will set the auto commit as true. If you don't know what auto commit is, we already discussed all these things from the previous video. So go watch those videos to understand the fundamental concepts, then do this project, because if you don't do this, then you will get confused and won't understand anything. So we set the auto commit as true. Now what we're going to do, we're going to be creating a cursor. Cursor is used for the execution of the query that we already discussed. So I'm just gonna, okay, yeah, you can directly run this and store this particular thing on the cursor. Now we can use this particular object and write some queries. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna be first creating the table onto Redshift. So the syntax is pretty simple. We just need to write this object name cursor dot execute, then like 3 quotation, and let's just copy this particular thing, Control C, Control V. Okay, so this is the way you basically write the query and it will basically execute it. Now if I go to my Redshift database, let me just go to editor. I'll refresh this particular thing and you'll be able to see it's loading. Yeah, you will be able to see the dim date that we created using the Python code. So we created the dim date. Now let me just go and check the schema of this. So go here, show schema, and you will see index fibs and int timestamp int, and the same schema we have over here. So we have int timestamp int. Okay, so this is the exactly what we are doing. So we're going to be repeating this same process for all the other tables which you have. The same approach. Okay, you just need to go over here, copy this particular thing and put it into the execution. Or what you can also do, you can store this particular thing onto variable and directly use the variable also. So it doesn't matter what you use. So I already have this particular create table statement. Just gonna execute it and it will create dim date already exists, so I don't need dim date. Let me go back. Okay, so it should run now. Okay, yeah, so it ran, and let me just open this. Let me reload, and you'll be able to see all the data, all the tables that we created, such as dim region, dim date, dim hospital, and COVID. Let me get the dim region and let me create the dim region table. This is the dim region, and let's go back and refresh this. Now we have all the 4 tables available into our Redshift database. Now the things are simple. You just need to write the copy command and copy the data from S3 to Redshift. We already discussed how to write the copy command in our previous video. So if you don't know that, you can again go watch those videos to understand those concepts in detail. But I'll explain you in brief right now. So basically copy command, you just need to write copy, then table name is basically that we use to create a Redshift table. Then you need to provide the path of your data. So currently it is stored in dim date, my S3 bucket, and then you need to provide the IAM role credentials, so credentials that you used while creating the Redshift cluster. Again, we discussed this in the previous videos. Then you need to provide the delimiter is basically the comma separated values, pipe separated or tab separated. So we have the CSV value, so you can write the comma. Then you need to provide the region, and we need to ignore the header. So in each and every CSV file, we have the first row is your header, so you need to ignore that particular thing, because if you don't do this, and you will get the error, because the header will be also considered as the value. So what you need to do, you just need to click over here and execute. So that it is executing and it completed. Now let's go to dim date. Okay, this was dim date. Let me go over here. So let's basically see the data. So select so select star from dim date, limit 10. Okay, I'm just gonna click over here and run this particular let me create the connection again. Database name dev AWS user, connect to this data. Now it's run, the query is running, and we should be able to see the data in meantime. Till then, what we will do till we see the data, because we're going to be deleting this particular table soon, because we will do all these things from the glue point of view. So we will deploy this script inside the glue, and then we will execute the glue procedure that will create and upload the data and everything. So I just wrote this particular query just to explain how these things work, but what we're going to do, we're going to be doing these things in glue. So we have the data onto Redshift. So this is it. Now what we need to do, you need to go onto glue console and click onto jobs. Now let me tell you, okay, this the creation of these projects and the videos takes a lot of effort. So if you can see over here, I failed a lot of time. I mean, I've been trying from this is currently 11 p.m. and I've been trying to do all these things from the 5 p.m. and it took me like around 6 to 7 hours just to get all these things done. So it takes a lot of effort to sum it up this video into like 20 to 30 minutes, but behind the scenes a lot of time goes. So I appreciate your support if you actually execute these projects, because I'm putting a lot of efforts to create these videos. So I will appreciate your support if you can like this video and share it and subscribe and all the other things you can do. So that way I will also have the motivation to continue with the project journey and everything. Okay. So now what we will do, we will create our first glue job. Now the thing is, glue does not support all the libraries. So let me go over here and show you glue supported packages in Python. Now if you go over here, Glue has like limited support for these libraries only. It supports this library, and if you want to use external library, what you need to do, you need to download external library from here. Go to download files and download this particular .wheel package, upload that particular package onto S3 bucket. So I created the folder inside our bucket which was package, and I uploaded the Redshift connector. So this is the same file which you can download from PyPI. Okay, so you can download this, click over here and you will be able to download it. Just upload that particular thing onto your Redshift, because we will be using this particular path inside of our glue job, and we will basically tell the glue job that use this particular package also while we execute our procedure. So if you have done that, just go and click on to add job. So over here we just need to write the job name. Let's S3 glue COVID data. Okay, that's right. Then we need to provide our IAM role, so S3 glue. Now we have like three options over here. One is your Spark. You can write the Spark job that we will do in the future videos, so don't worry about it. Then also we have the streaming. Also we will do some streaming projects in the future, and we have the Python shell. So we will use the Python shell, and we have the two versions, Python 2 and Python 3. So click on the Python 3. Now the jobs run. Okay, either you can directly provide the S3 path for your script, or you can add new script and it will create that particular script onto your S3 bucket. If you have, just click on to add new script authored by you. Then we have the tags, leave it as it is, and go to security configuration, script libraries and job performance. Over here you see the path, a Python library path. Click onto this particular folder, go navigate where you uploaded your package. So I'm just going to go over it and select the Redshift connector, because we're going to be using our Redshift connector in this project as we already discussed. So click on to next, then keep it as it is. We don't require any connection. Now here you can write your script inside the Python. So this is where you will write the script. So again, we have already written the script over here. So just what you need to do, you just need to copy all these things onto the glue job. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it over here. So this is the same thing. Okay, import Redshift connector. Then after that connection, you made the connection with the database, click the auto commit as true, then create all this data schemas onto Redshift and upload data using the copy command. Before that, what you need to do, you need to delete these tables, because we already have the table available into Redshift. So if you try to execute the create table statement again, then you will get an error. So what you need to do, just go over here and drop the table like that. Also hospital, then we have the region, then we have fact COVID. Click on to delete, run this particular query. It will basically drop all these tables, so we will have like the fresh Redshift database. So that does not have any data. So I'm just gonna reload this, and you will be able to see we don't have any table. So now what you need to do, save this particular job. You can directly click run job over here, and it will run the job, and you can see all the logs that executing what step by step. You can see it over here, and also you can go to the CloudWatch and see your log. So we will look the both approach. So let's wait and see what this particular thing shows us over here. So if you're doing this first time, then you might get some errors and all the other things. So this happens, I already showed you. So what it is doing right now, it is going to our Redshift connector wheel. Okay, it is extracting the required packages. So inside this particular wheel, we might have like a lot of packages that it is using in the backend. So we can see that it is using like Beautiful Soup, ULA, Botocore, S3 transfer, and all other things that is being used inside this particular package. So it is currently installing it inside the backend, because we have provided the dependency path. Now it is running, currently job is running. So what it will do, it will basically go import this path, then make the Redshift connection, then again run all these queries, and we will get the path. So let me just go to Redshift and reload this. So let's see if we get the table list over here, because the script is executing one by one. So we should be able to see the output as it is executing. I'm not going to cut this part, because I want you guys to see how these things look. So if you can see, we have the data over here, all the 4 tables, and I guess the successfully completed this job. You can go back and click on to COVID data, and you can see the succeed. Okay, So it took around like 1 minute to execute the entire script. Okay, 8 seconds for the startup, and also it took some time while installing all the packages. So general time it took like 1 minute, so that's not very big deal. So as you can see, this is basically, now let's go to Redshift and let's say select star from Tim Hospital. Okay, this is the correct spelling, hospital. Yeah, just gonna run this and you'll be able to see the output over here also. So we will see all the CSV data that we transform. We had like multiple relational database, then we combined those database and built our star schema, and then based on that we did the transformation, and then we uploaded our data onto Redshift. So we can see all the data that we created available here. Now on top of it, you can do analysis or join all these tables and build visualization tables and all the other things. So that thing is for the future. So the scope of this particular project was this only. What we needed, we had like data onto S3 crawler, we created the Athena table, then we did the glue transformation. That is basically this. You can also deploy our this particular script, the entire script, okay, into the glue transformation and build your data set. So you can do that, and it doesn't matter what you use, but you also need to provide the required packages. So all the packages that we are using, such as IOString, I guess these are the all built-in packages, so we don't need to worry about it. So you can use these particular packages and directly deploy this entire script also. But the main thing is you might get some errors, and it is okay, it is normal, because as you can see, even I got a lot of errors. See, a lot of time I failed, and errors were like I was trying different packages also. I was trying PyMySQL and all the other packages, but it was not working, so I ended up working with the Redshift connector. So PsycopG2, I had some issues with the PsycopG2, that's why I used the Redshift connector. So you can see a lot of errors came, but after that, like all the error resolved, I was able to find the correct approach and do this. Because so now we have like success. So this is basically we have the data onto Redshift. Now you can connect this particular Redshift using any visualization tool and do some visualization. So we will do some visualization projects in the future. Okay, we will do the data lake projects, visualization, streaming projects, and all the other things. So these things are coming, but it will take a little bit time because it requires a lot of research and preparation and execution. So I'm doing basically the entire project end to end and summing up that particular project in 30 minutes of the video, so it takes a lot of time. So I will try my best to provide that particular project free of cost on YouTube. So in the return of that, I just need that you like this video, share it with the people who needs this, and subscribe to my channel if you are new here. So basically that's it. So if you have been following this particular project, then what you can do, you can find own dataset go to AWS Open Dataset and all other website, build your own dataset, build the relational database schema, do some transformation, and then build a data warehouse. Because if you do that way you will learn, because errors are the only way you can learn things. Because if you don't face errors, then you won't be able to build the debugging skills and all the skills that is required. So go out and try different data sets. Don't just use this COVID dataset. This is just for the example purposes. So don't stick on this particular data set. Try different data set and then add those projects into your resume. You don't try to add this particular project into your resume, because this is just a test project and for the understanding purpose. So this is the learning project. So don't add this particular project in your resume. It won't hold any value, because like you, there are a lot of other people who is also following this particular project. So if everyone adds this project, then it does not hold any value. If this project was the part of some like expensive course, then it might have hold some value because limited people were doing it. But this is completely online and completely free, so everyone can do this and everyone can add this. So if you want to stand out, try to find new data set and then add those projects into your resume. So I guess, yeah, that's it for the projects. Thank you for following this particular project. If you have learned something, then comment it out and let me know how the project journey was, because I've created around like 13 to 14 videos into this entire series for this cloud computing, and before that I've done like different series on data models and all the other things. So been doing these things from like I've around like maybe like 30 videos onto this tutorial. So you can watch all these things and learn and execute while watching the video. That will help you to understand things much better, and try to do hands-on practice. If you don't do hands-on practice and if you just watch the video, then you won't understand anything. Okay, so a lot of projects are coming in the future, so be ready for that. And thank you for watching this video.